Some breaking news right off the top. The House currently debating a resolution to pressure Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove President Trump from the White House. Let's listen in for just a second.
Other efforts to try to punish Republicans for false accusations of inciting the type of violence they have so frequently and transparently supported in the past. Throughout 2020, we witnessed Democrats welcome, encourage, and even normalize violence. For them, violent riots were effective in advancing their agenda.
The gentlelady's time has expired. The gentleman from Ohio reserves.
Okay, that's Lauren Boebert from the state of Colorado, the Republican speaking there, the House going all over all of this. However, Mike Pence made this vote moot by releasing a letter earlier today saying that it's never going to happen. Pence saying, with just 8 days left in the president's term, I do not believe such a course of action is in the best interest of our nation or consistent with our Constitution. So he's not going to be doing the 25th Amendment thing. So it all hinges on the impeachment vote now, set for tomorrow. We're going to talk about that more here in just a bit. But first, as we said, the president is back. It has been a bizarre few days watching the left pounce as the president laid low, but Trump reemerged this morning on his way to the Mexico border and stopped to defend last Wednesday's speech that Democrats say led to an insurrection on Capitol Hill.
But they've analyzed my speech and my words and my final paragraph, my final sentence, and everybody to the T thought it was totally appropriate.
All right, the president has a point. You can listen for yourself. Here are the moments that the president called on the crowd to march.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. We're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country. So let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue.
All right, Trump simply didn't call for violence. Everybody can see that. It's clear to anybody with a half a brain. Sadly, most people in politics and the media have less than a half a brain. So they now say that Trump telling his supporters that the election was stolen is enough to convict him for incitement of an insurrection. So let's analyze that for a moment. If this is the case, then the DOJ better charge Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, all the rest of the clowns with attempted incitement of an insurrection for all the comments they made for years about the 2016 election. They clearly must have been trying to incite an insurrection when they asserted that the election was stolen with no evidence. I'm just going by the left's rules here. Well, once the president was on the ground in Texas, he went after big tech and the Democrats as well. Take a listen to this.
Free speech is under assault like never before. The 25th Amendment is of zero risk to me, but will come back to haunt Joe Biden and the Biden administration. As the expression goes, be careful what you wish for.
And he's right, you know. After Democrats impeached him, his approval rating went up the last time. It was a lesson Republicans had learned with Bill Clinton. Democrats clearly have not learned it yet. This time, the ramifications for all this nonsense we're seeing right now from the left would come in the 2022 midterms. The massive power grab by the left in general is not going unnoticed right now. The Democrat Party, big tech, cancel culture, all flexing very hard right now. This is a major moment for them, laying a body slam on everything that they don't like. The truth of the matter is a vast majority of Americans, including a lot of Democrats, don't identify with the corporate elite left and their radical left ideals. Politically, this moment is a loser. Trump sees it clear as day, and his political instincts are pretty sharp. Regardless, the president may be in more trouble than he thought he was earlier today, though. Tonight, we are learning that some high-profile Republicans could be voting to impeach. Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney says she's going to vote to impeach, saying, quote, the president of the United States summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of the attack. She's number 3 in the House. Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, could be voting or could be moving toward impeachment as well. I guess he's a maybe tonight. There are whispers that McConnell is supporting this move and that he is angry. The reality of this, though, is really quite simple when you think about it. The establishment has found the perfect time to finally rid itself of Donald Trump and Trumpism. They knew that this moment would come. They hate that Trump defined their party for 4 years, and a lot of them are all still very jealous that he coasted right into the White House without paying his dues. It's as simple as that. This is the perfect opportunity. Strike while the iron is hot. In doing this, they're also pandering heavily to the Democrats, and we've definitely seen this show before. Welcome back to the weak and spineless Republican Party. Welcome back to the Republican Party that sits quietly as Democrats pull this country further and further and further to the left. Welcome back to the party of Mitt Romney. Let's all take in a BLM protest this weekend. What do you say? But before we march for socialism with Mitt, let's check out the president's trip to the border. The president visited Alamo, Texas today in the Rio Grande Valley. It's the busiest sector for human smuggling. The president's goal was to complete 450 miles by 2020. He has done just that. It is a spectacle for sure. It's a massive 30-foot wall. Think of 450 miles of that. The left hates it because they see a borderless future where American wealth and treasure is spread all around the globe. And that is exactly why we love it so much, because this wall is common sense. Here is the president again, and just listen to these figures.
Every region that we've built the wall, illegal crossings and drug smuggling have plummeted, absolutely plummeted. In the Rio Grande Valley, crossings have dropped nearly 80%. In Yuma, Arizona, illegal entries have been slashed by 90%. Nationwide, ICE and Border Patrol have seized over 2 million pounds of fentanyl, heroin, meth, and other deadly narcotics, saving thousands and thousands of lives.
Isn't it amazing that anybody could be against this? But the left is enraged by this. They hate this. This wall and what it's doing is racist. Stopping human smuggling is racist. Preventing fentanyl and other drugs from getting into the country is racist. Keeping people from illegally entering a country, which is something that is done all over the world, worldwide, that's racist. This wall represents everything the Trump administration was about and everything the rest of Washington is not. This represents action over words, a completed task, something that never happens in Washington. This wall represents more than Joe Biden has done in his entire life. This wall is an insult to the left, which deals in virtue signaling and emotion all the time. It is a wall. It doesn't care what's popular today or what plays well politically tomorrow. It doesn't care that Democrats demanded that it be built 15 years ago, but want to rip it down today. It's a wall. It stands there, and it solves a problem, no matter who's in charge.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.